What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, your #1 source for everything happening with our team. We have some massive and quite frankly devastating news coming straight out of the facility today regarding the health of our star quarterback. This is a situation that is developing rapidly, and it completely changes the outlook for our massive holiday matchup coming up this Thursday. Before I give you every single detail on what is happening behind the scenes and who is stepping up to lead the offense, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a breaking update, and drop a comment below with your name and the city where you are watching from. We want to see the whole nation represented in the comments. Let's get right into the facts of this breaking situation. I am reporting today that the Minnesota Vikings are facing a significant setback at the most important position on the field, as rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy has been diagnosed with a hairline fracture in his throwing hand. According to Tom Pelissero and confirmed by head coach Kevin O'Connell following further imaging sessions, McCarthy will be forced to sit out this Thursday's critical game against the Detroit Lions. This marks the 7th game McCarthy will miss this season, continuing a frustrating trend of injuries that has plagued the young signal caller's early career. The injury occurred recently, and while the team was hoping for better news, the imaging showed a small fracture that makes it impossible for him to grip and zip the ball with the necessary velocity on such a short week of preparation. The good news, if you can call it that, is that Coach O'Connell clarified that McCarthy will not require surgery. The fracture is described as very small, but the medical staff is being extremely cautious given that this involves his throwing hand, which is the lifeline of his professional career. This injury is just the latest chapter in what has been a physical roller coaster for McCarthy. Remember, he missed his entire true rookie season due to a serious knee injury. Then, earlier this year, he was sidelined for 5 games with a high ankle sprain, followed by a concussion that kept him out of the Week 13 matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. This hand fracture is essentially the 4th distinct injury he has dealt with in a very short window of time, raising concerns among the fan base and analysts alike about his long-term durability. However, the organization remains publicly confident that these are mostly freak occurrences, rather than a sign of a chronic physical weakness. To understand the impact of this loss, we have to look at the tactical side of the ball. Losing McCarthy means losing the mobility and the arm talent that Kevin O'Connell has been trying to cultivate within this system. In his absence, the Vikings will once again turn to undrafted rookie Max Brosmer. Brosmer is entering a high-pressure situation, making only his 2nd career NFL start on a short week against a divisional rival. When we look back at Brosmer's performance last Sunday against the New York Giants, there were some flashes of competence. He stepped in mid-game and completed 7 of 9 passes for 52 yards. It wasn't flashy, but it was efficient enough to help the team secure a 16-13 victory and move to a 7-8 record. However, we cannot forget his first career start against the Seahawks, where things went off the rails. In that game, Brosmer struggled immensely, going 19 of 30 for just 126 yards and throwing 4 interceptions in a shutout loss. The disparity between those two performances leaves a lot of questions about which version of the rookie will show up against Detroit. The matchup against the Lions' defense provides a bit of a silver lining. While Detroit is a formidable opponent, their secondary has been decimated by injuries throughout the season. They are missing key pieces in the back end, which might allow O'Connell to simplify the passing concepts for Brosmer and rely on short, high-percentage throws to playmakers like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. The game plan will likely involve a heavy dose of the running game to take the pressure off the young quarterback, especially since the Lions' ability to mask their coverages is limited by their personnel issues. From a statistical perspective, the loss of McCarthy is quantifiable. When he is on the field, the Vikings' explosive play rate increases by nearly 12% compared to when the backups are in. His ability to extend plays with his legs creates a vertical threat that Brosmer simply hasn't shown yet. Furthermore, the financial and strategic implications are massive. The Vikings are currently 7-8, and their playoff hopes are essentially non-existent following the Chicago Bears' recent victory, which clinched a postseason berth for them. With the Lions and Packers also ahead in the standings, the Vikings are playing for pride and draft positioning. This raises a crucial question. Why risk McCarthy at all for the rest of the year? If he isn't 100% healthy, there is zero incentive to put him out there in Week 18 against the Green Bay Packers. Risking further damage to his throwing hand could jeopardize his entire 2026 offseason program, which is vital for his development. Looking at the historical context, we have seen similar hand injuries affect quarterbacks like Drew Brees and Matthew Stafford. While those were often more severe and required surgery, the mechanics of the hand are so delicate that even a hairline fracture can alter a player's release point if they return too early. By sitting McCarthy now, the Vikings are protecting their investment. This move signals that the front office is already looking toward the 2026 season.
There is already significant chatter that Minnesota will look to bring in a high-level veteran to compete with McCarthy next year. Whether that is a reunion with someone like Sam Darnold or another veteran bridge quarterback, the goal will be to ensure the team isn't left in this vulnerable position again if the injury bug strikes. For the next 2 weeks, the Vikings coaching staff will use this as an extended audition for Max Brosmer. They need to know if he is a viable long-term backup, or if they need to completely overhaul the quarterback room behind McCarthy. If Brosmer can navigate the Lions' depleted secondary and show better decision-making than he did in Seattle, he might earn a spot on the roster for next year. If he falters again, the Vikings will likely be very aggressive in the free agent market. In conclusion, while the news of J.J. McCarthy's hand injury is a bitter pill to swallow for fans wanting to see the young star develop on the field, it is the most logical path for a franchise that needs to think about the next 5 years rather than the next 2 weeks. The focus now shifts to the Christmas Day clash, where we will see if this team can rally around an undrafted rookie and play the role of spoiler against a Lions team that is still fighting for seeding. The physical health of McCarthy remains the top priority, and avoiding surgery is the biggest win of the week. We will continue to monitor his recovery and provide updates on whether he has any chance of appearing in the season finale. But for now, it is the Max Brosmer Show in the Twin Cities. Stay tuned right here for more analysis and breaking news as we get closer to kickoff.